I'm here processing garlic from my garden, and I wanted to have a conversation with all the Canadians in the room. Now, I come from a family of agricultures, specifically from North Africa. And one of the things my ancestors noticed was you kind of get an idea of what the season is going to be like by how your crops behave in your garden, in your farm. And from the get-go, long before it even got really hot, all my plants wanted to go straight to seed. Didn't know why. Just knew that that was what was happening. And it wasn't too hot at the time. Temperature kept going up and up and up. Early on, we had a conversation here at home about how we both suspected that there would be probably a drought. We didn't expect the heat that we've been experiencing. To be clear, even if the weather network was saying it was 35, every single thermostat I had outdoors, as well as the ones in my car, told me it was 40 and above. Every single one. And yes, I'm perimenopausal, but the weather also sucked. Sucked big time. It was a type of heat that I've never really ever experienced before. And I'm from the desert. I grew up a good portion of my life in the desert. And then the fires started. Oh, how the fires started. In New Brunswick, we've never had fires like this before. We've never had heat like this before. Suddenly we're having evacuation warnings. Air quality is absolute trash can. And it's bad. I have a respiratory condition. Not my kind of situation. And I remember during the elections, Mr. Carney was coined by the media and by his PR team as Mr. Environmentalist. Sorry, Mr. Environmental Activist was the term I heard used to describe him. Then I started hearing it within my circles. Why are you concerned, Mo? He's an environmental activist. Because I have eyes. Because I research. I read. I also knew who he worked with. Hint, hint, it wasn't the Liberal Party. It wasn't Mulroney kind of conservative either. Not that any form of racist ideology is tolerable or acceptable, but I'm just clarifying the differences of who they are and who they were with. So I started to raise the alarms during election seasons, trying to share my legitimate concerns, trying to remind people that the problem isn't who you vote for, it is a system that is designed to work exactly as it's working right now. And that by you continuing to participate, there is no self-preservation. Not even if you're racialized. It became a whole racialized discussion at one point where somehow I'm inadequately African. It was a Kamala Harris situation. All over again, but here in Canada. Because we love to compare ourselves to the United States, right? People were unfriending me, even blocking me. Because they need to preserve themselves. And how dare I tell them how to vote? Which I actually was exactly not telling you how to vote. Because I don't believe in voting. Because why participate in a system and oppress myself by my own hand? This myth of participating in the system allows you to change it is a complete lie. You can ask Masr. Many people participated in that system over and over and over and over again, hoping for democracy. It took a national retaliation to be able to overthrow the current fascist state. only to only have options to elect one of two new fascist states in a democratic process. And after electing one of the fascist options, still ended up having a military coup that overthrew it with another form of fascism. Because let's be clear, there's no more fascist. You're either fascist or you're not. There's nothing more fascist than another. It doesn't work that way. I get blocked, I get insulted, I get deleted, I get criticized. I'm not above criticism. I don't care if it's merited. Then I should listen, and I do. And then the elections happen, and then all of a sudden, representation for disabled people is gone. All of a sudden, immigration laws change, fucking over a ton of immigrants, currently in this country. Stranding some of them. Really fucking them over. And then there's the terrorizing of Indigenous rights and the removal of Indigenous rights and the urgency to consult with them over and over and over again, even removing it from being mandatory. And then all of a sudden, forest fires come. In a land where the occupiers who took it over determine how they want the land to be cared for, even if it's at the cost of the land, while ignoring and blocking entirely the voices of those who actually know how to keep the land. Because there's no such thing as landowners, there's only land keepers. And this is what many of you fail to understand. And it's why you keep subscribing to capitalism. Even though you say you want equality, even though you say you want equity, even though you say you want opportunity, you keep holding on to systems that uphold capitalism because you want your shot to win capitalism. Like there's an actual possibility that you might. And don't tell me that that's not the fact, because let's be real. Anyone with hope is either in denial or hoping to win capitalism. And I think the majority is the latter. And all of these forest fires are happening, these wildfires. And a reminder that in 2021, we lost 6,600 souls, almost 7,000 people, to the wildfires in Alberta. 7,000. I know y'all can't grasp the Gaza numbers, but can you at least pretend to try to grasp these ones? I know you don't understand what's happening in Sudan, but could you at least try to understand what's happening before it gets you good to you? And yes, a lot of these things are run provincially, but things could be mandated federally if we wanted to. Or regulated, at least. I don't know. Environmental activist doesn't seem to ring truth in my ear. And the way y'all keep being so unserious that we can't even take you seriously about these fires proves that the problem isn't the system, it's you. And your complicity to all of it. And it falls again. Sit in that discomfort. If you're angry, journal. Stay the fuck out of my comments if you don't like what I have to say. This isn't a debate. Call me arrogant, call me a bitch. I don't care. I've been called it all over the last 40-some years. At least I'm not being called ignorant. We didn't all sign on to MAID, but you seem to all be choosing it for all of us.